morning, everybody. It is the last week of Ramadan, which is wild to say, but last week I literally didn't even pick up my camera. But it's been kind of a little bit of a wild week. We're gonna debrief it a little later. But currently me and my sister are gonna go to the mall because we need to run a few errands. Alright, I'm ready. I literally just put a gray long sleeve because I don't know what to do. So I'm just quickly gonna put some moisturizer just because I genuinely feel like my face just feels so dry, and I have dry skin in general, so I have to put moisturizer on like a few times a day, otherwise I literally cannot live life. The moisturizer I use from CeraVe is actually like a SPF 50, which obviously like I don't always need, so it makes the moisturizer a little heavy. I still use it, but my mom buys like a tub of a moisturizer and like, you know, divides it between herself, me, and my sister. And so I do have my portion of the moisturizer in this Rio de Janeiro little box, just because this was the only one that I had available. So I promise it's not actually Rio de Janeiro. I'm putting like a moisturizer on my face. And I have to say, every time I even open this moisturizer and I smell it, I'm like, oh my god, that smells like my mom. Also, the other day when me and Hava met up with Ayla, she actually gifted me like a lip combo set, which I love lip products. I love any lip products. I'm a fan of lip products. She got me this lip liner. It's Miss Tice. I don't know how to read it, okay, but it's in this like beauty, oh my god, I'm being such a beauty influencer, in like a brown maroon shade. So I'm gonna go first with this one, and then she got me this lip glow lip glow color reviver balm from Dior, which is wild because oh my god, I love lip products, and this one is such an iconic one. But this is the lip glow, I think it was called Lip Glow Addict. So that is really cool. I'm just gonna quickly apply these to feel a little more alive. It is, for context, 12-14. And I'm just gonna apply the Sol de Janeiro, what is this, 62. I love this scent so much. It's pistachio and salted caramel, and genuinely whenever I open this bottle, it's like summer. It genuinely brings me right back in, and there's just no better scent than this one. I'm in love. Actually, when we were doing New Year gift exchanges, my friend Sebi, she actually gifted me Rio de Janeiro set, and this is in the red color. In number 14, I have to say, I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. Obviously, like, we've used it up with my sister already because it just smells so nice. It smells so nice. I love it. It's genuinely amazing. So, anyways. Okay, we ran our errands, and we're also gonna go to like a jewelry store that we wanted to see. Do not know who I am, but still know that I'm good long as you're here with me. I'm gonna have my Arabic class right now, like in a minute, and I haven't had one in like 2 weeks, so I feel like I've forgotten Arabic. But I did a little bit of practice, just the stuff that we covered last time, and honestly, I have forgotten Arabic, so wish me good luck. Midnight into morning coffee, burning through the hours talking. I like me better when I'm with you. Today's the last Tuesday leading up to Novruz, which is Persian New Year that we celebrate, and it's crazy because this year Persian New Year and also Eid al-Fitr is on the same, like in the same week, which is just full of holidays, so it's really fun. And we're hosting today, so we have a lot of fun coming up. Said is already here, and I is setting up the table. Все хорошо, веселимся. I knew from the first time I stayed for a long time, 'cause I like me better when Good morning, everybody. I literally just filmed an entire segment thinking that I'm recording. Turns out I wasn't recording. But hello, yesterday we had two holidays at once. It was Eid al-Fitr and it was also Novruz, which is Persian New Year. So we actually had a road trip to Jalalabad for a day to see my grandpa and celebrate together, and it was just very soul nourishing. And right now I was just getting editing done and I decided to pull out the camera because it is the weekend and me and Isla are gonna go to the boulevard later on. But right now I was just scanning Polaroids that we took both on Tuesday evening and like yesterday in Jalalabad. Here's a Polaroid of me if you ever cared. But I was literally just sharing with you, thinking that I'm recording, how, you know, we can have a whole discourse on the fact that, you know, Polaroids, the entire medium of a Polaroid is in the fact that it only captures a certain moment once, right? There's only one copy of it. And how does the essence change now that we digitalize them? For instance, the camera itself has an entire app which is called Instax Up, and you know, that really just changes the entire discourse and the entire kind of trajectory of this medium, which I find really interesting. So just wanted to share that. But like, in a world where we're so obsessed with, you know, photographs and videos, it's so convenient having this app, because obviously Polaroids are meant to be shared with your, you know, your friends and family. So getting to also, you know, scrap a copy for yourself is just very nice and very convenient in this day and age, to be completely honest. But yeah, I always wait until the morning to scan them, just because I feel like in artificial light they turn out to be so incredibly different. So last night I did want to scan them and like share them, but then I was like, I'm gonna wait until morning because they were just not looking good. And me and my sister actually did get Polaroid photo albums, which I'm very excited about, because I don't know, I just find that to be so cool and such a great way to preserve memories. But the app is also just really convenient because you can like easily scan them and you can have them like scattered on a table digitally, which is really nice. But our obsession with digitalizing everything should be studied. I'm sure it is studied, and I'm not a fan of our obsession with digitalizing everything, but I'm also part of the problem. So here's the album that I have. My sister ordered it from Amazon, like, was it last year, the end of last year? And let me see if I have any Polaroids to share. Well, the ones from Kushadase are like one of my favorite ones. Hold on, here you go. I wish we had took one more, but I took a view from like our boat trip. I asked my sister like, oh, can I have like one photo please? And then my sister took this photo of me, which is actually my photo profile, because I was like, how in the world did you take such a perfect photo on a Polaroid? Like, it's just such a different medium that we don't often use. So, you know, taking like wow pictures like this is amazing. Anyways, this is also us in Kushadase with our friends, and then this is me. Obviously exposure was too light, but also like this is me and Shyla, our first year of uni. This is my mom and my cousin. What else? This is me and my cousin and my grandpa. So I'm gonna leave this here. Also, last year, no, I don't remember, this year when I was in Germany, at a flea market, I actually bought 2 photographs from I don't know, some sort of family. I think the, you know, family members have passed away and they were clearing out their apartment, which is just really heartbreaking to think about. But I did buy 2 photographs, and will you believe that this photograph was taken in 1960 on a colorful Kodak? It's literally insane. Yeah, 1964 August Kodak. Okay, can you, and this is from, as far as we understood, from like, there was like a huge box of photos, that this is from their trip to London. A trip to London with a colorful Kodak in 1960s is absolutely wild, but respect that. So we're gonna fill up. Oh my god, and my first Polaroids are actually from 2019 with my best friends in high school, and that is just the most wholesome thing. Like genuinely, it breaks my heart in like the best way possible. Still breaks my heart though. Very wholesome. Anyways, and I love that it's in light blue because I love this color. Anyways, I need to go hang the laundry. Okay world, I am done with the first order that is due today, and I have 2 orders that's due today, so we're gonna get to the second one later on. But I'm just gonna put a little bit of makeup on to feel a little refreshed and feel a little bit of a holiday spirit, if you will. And I have to say, during Ramadan, I never read books because I literally throughout the day I just do not feel alive enough to be able to consume literature, and I only really focus on reading the Quran, which I did actually complete reading the Quran for the first time ever this Ramadan, which I'm very grateful and just thankful about. Obviously I did complete reading the translation and not the original because I do not yet know Arabic that well, although I am planning to start reading the Quran in Arabic. But let me just check how the clips are. But the book I'm currently reading is Discipline and Punished by Michel Foucault, because I recently read The Age of Innocence, and I actually spoke about this book probably like twice on short form content. And like a lens you can look at the book through is through panopticism, which is one of the theories that you can find in Discipline and Punished by Michel Foucault. So I'm trying to complete that book and be able to, you know, understand Edith Wharton's work better, because I do think it's very important to kind of consume any piece of literature or media in pairs. For instance, obviously when you're watching a film, you should, or you can, pair it up with a scholarly work. The same goes out to obviously literature, or even when you're reading articles. And also you can pair up articles with different, you know, books. I think that's what we did in high school in IB. I did English Literature and Language A, and I think it would pair up articles actually with books, which was really, really interesting and convenient. And through that, I've actually read so many interesting articles and so many interesting essays. For instance, one of the essays that I was actually thinking about yesterday is the one, I think it was published in 1972. I might be completely incorrect on that, but it's called I Want a Wife. It's such an incredible perspective on, you know, patriarchy, and truly as a woman reading it, it like pierces right through your heart because it's so unfortunately true. And one of the topics that I'm most passionate about is patriarchy, because I did study a lot of, you know, I did a lot of gender studies at university, and whatever I am talking about or whatever I'm reading, I always look at it through the lens of colonialism. And I think there was an author, I don't remember who it was, but that didn't believe in the concept of post-colonialism because we don't exist in the post-colonial world. And despite the fact that, you know, our traditional concepts of colonialism, colonies no longer exist, although they clearly do. And I do agree that, you know, we don't exist in the post-colonial world, but in either case, what was I saying? I look at everything through the lens of colonialism, race, and gender studies, because ultimately everything goes back to that. Well, ultimately everything goes back to the patriarchy. So I definitely am not a fun person to have around at a dinner table, and my family can very much agree on that. I am using this Take Home the Bronze by The Balm for my bronzer, and if anything, I'm not saying what am I recording? Yes, I am recording. Okay, because in the morning it turned out that I wasn't recording, and that was really funny. Also, what's really funny is a lot of times, like when I post my short form content, I'll get quite a few comments saying how like, oh my god, take a breath while speaking, or like you should like speak slower and stuff, which is very interesting because obviously when it comes to YouTube, you know, the conversations that we're having, it's very unscripted and just like straight out of my mind. But when I need to fit a conversation into a 1 minute, you know, content, I need to kind of plan out in my head what I'm gonna say and what is, you know, what am I connecting the dots with, what am I just talking about in general, and I have to, you know, just be very concise and be very clear. And whenever I need to like fit something into a 1 minute long conversation, I have to speak quickly, because if I don't just get it out like in the very specific order, I literally lose track of what I was saying and I lose my train of thought. So unless I'm putting out everything in like a very concise, clear statement, it's gonna be a 10-minute long video because I genuinely just lose the train of my thought if I'm not getting it out all quickly. And the thing is, I don't believe I speak quickly because I'll see people who, oh my god, they speak so fast and it's so difficult to keep track of. I remember at university, my professor for, I think it was philosophy of humanities, he spoke so incredibly quickly. Thank god that was like more or less quarantine time in Amsterdam. It was 2022, beginning of 2022, I believe. And so the lectures would be recorded and we'd just watch them on Canvas. And I would actually slow down the lecture so I would be able to take notes, you know, efficiently, because truly he spoke so incredibly fast and it was so difficult to kind of keep track of what he was saying, especially when it comes to topics such as philosophy, where you just need time to be able to digest content, because you know even if it's not abstract thoughts, it's something that your brain hasn't been used to analyzing, because we live in such a robotic world where you are conditioned to believe certain things and you're conditioned to think a certain way. So when you learn to unlearn all that the world taught you, you need time. You need like a good minute. So I would always slow down the lecture to be able to take notes and to understand what the professor was, you know, trying to get across. But yeah, so I don't know why people are always people are haters. I have to say, people are haters, and that's okay. You know, the wider the audience, the more the haters, which is totally okay. I genuinely don't mind the comments people make about my speech. Obviously, sometimes like can get to me where it's not easy to put yourself out there on the internet, and you're constantly so incredibly afraid of saying something wrong or not being able to convey your thought, and you know, people can always just completely disregard what you were saying and misinterpret what you were trying to convey, and that is always a scary thought. I'm gonna go in with Kylie Cosmetics lip liner. It's in the shade Cinnamon, and I'm gonna go in with Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I was sitting on my knees, so anyways, this is a top that says New York. It's from H&M, I believe. I love like regular schmegular tops just because they're so comfortable, and I'm all for comfort. Honestly, like fashion is interesting and it's fun, but I'm just all into my comfort. So a very plain outfit, and these are some pants that I think they're from Trendyol, Mila, maybe, probably, or they're from Happiness Istanbul. I don't know. But they're these like very navy blue pants. They're very comfortable and they're thin. They're more like summer kind. But we're all ready. Such great weather, and genuinely like I miss the sun, I miss good weather, so the fact that we went out now just makes my heart so happy. Also, those hours were so beautiful. Anyways, I love summer. I think as soon as I see the sun, suddenly my personality is back. Suddenly I love to live and, you know, live up there.
I don't know what it is, but I got that feeling. Waking up in this bed next to you is where the room, yeah, got nice.
2 holidays coming at once is just chaos in the city, but also feels so incredibly alive. Like I don't think I've ever seen this many people in the city in like years. This is crazy. It's like packed.
We let the day just pass us by. I might get to too much talking. I might have to tell you something. I like me better when I'm with you. I like me better when I'm with you. I knew from the first time I stayed for a long time, 'cause I like me better when I'm with you.